Now, Dr. Shashank Joshi has clearly said that this is a fever plus cytokine fever. So there are two fevers occurring in this condition: inflammatory fever, which is a cytokine fever, and it is also causing a fever because of the virus. The virus as a exogenous fever, which is a exogenous fever because of the virus, and there is also a inflammatory fever. And in this inflammatory fever, we have interleukins and we have TNF blocker. So TNF alpha is a local reaction, and then comes interleukin 1 beta, 6 and 8 and 18. And remember that interleukin 10 is just the opposite. Interleukin 10 is the protective phenomena. It is like a protection. So what we want is any drug, any herb, or any lifestyle which increases IL-10 and reduces IL-1 beta, IL-6 and TNF. And NLRP automatically, indirectly produces interleukins. So our objective is to find a lifestyle. Exercise reduces IL-6. Stress management reduces IL-6. Haldi, adrak reduces IL-1 beta, IL-6. They also reduces TNF alpha. Zinc also reduces at these particular levels. Now let us see, before we go back to each fever, what are the drugs which we can use in this COVID, because this is no more a simple fever, it is fever with inflammation. So we have paracetamol, naproxen, indomethacin, mefenamic acid, and nimesulide. And if you say only three drugs reduces TNF alpha, that is naproxen, mefenamic acid, and nimesulide. So therefore, the drug of choice here will be a choice between naproxen, mefenamic acid, and TNF alpha. Indomethacin increases IL-1 beta, which is the main cause of fever. IL-6 is reduced by all. IL-6 is reduced by all, so you can choose as far as IL-6 is concerned. IL-8, nobody acts on IL-8. And then we come back to TNF alpha, which is reduced by mefenamic acid, paracetamol, and nimesulide. So again here, mefenamic acid and nimesulide are the two choices which reduces all aspects. NLRP is reduced only by mefenamic acid and nimesulide. Now see here that IL-10 reduced by paracetamol and indomethacin. IL-10 you can say HDL cholesterol, IL-1 beta you can say LDL cholesterol. This is how you can remember. So IL-10 is increased by nimesulide. So if we have to find out the drug of choice in this condition, if it is 0 to 14 days, nimesulide and mefenamic acid. If it is more than 14 days, then mefenamic acid. So this is how the action of this drug in inflammation takes place. If you want rapid action, nimesulide. If you want slow action, mefenamic acid. If you want to give a drug for 3 months, obviously you cannot give nimesulide because that is not approved for more than 14 days. If you want to give it in children, mefenamic acid. Otherwise, in acute phase, nimesulide and mefenamic acid are comparable to each other. Dr. Joshi.
So I completely agree with you, Dr. Saab. Uh, Three things. Number one, there is a lot of inflammation and hyperinflammation. So there are good cytokines and bad cytokines. As Dr. Agarwal has very nicely pointed out, the good cytokine is the IL-10. So what boosts IL-10? Well, beyond reasonable doubt, there is a increase of IL-10 by nimesulide. And we know that actually there is a counterproductive action of paracetamol and indomethacin. So the good cytokine is upregulated by nimesulide and downregulated by paracetamol and indomethacin, therefore should be avoided. When it comes to the bad cytokines, we have fundamentally the IL-6, the TNF alpha. The IL-6 is universally reduced by everybody. But when it comes to TNF alpha, naproxen actually is counterproductive. It increases it. And nimesulide decreases it, mefenamic acid decreases it, and paracetamol decreases it. So though paracetamol may be a good antipyretic, it is not an excellent anti-inflammatory. In fact, it might actually make the good cytokine go up, and that is not something which we want, go down, sorry. So paracetamol is good for reduction of fever, but when the fever has a large inflammatory response, despite of giving what we call as paracetamol resistant fever, is because of inflammation. And that is where mefenamic acid and nimesulide, and particularly nimesulide, has an added advantage on controlling the inflammatory syndrome or the post-COVID inflammatory syndrome. And this inflammatory syndrome needs the bad cytokines to go down, the good cytokines to go up. And that's where these drugs have niched themselves in. And that's something for us to recognize. There are even simple things, as Dr. Agarwal said, good exercise will upregulate the good cytokine. We also know that if you sleep from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, the IL-10 and IL-12 goes up, which is again a good cytokine. So remember, your cytokines can be good or bad, which are the chemicals which are made by our immune system. And there are drugs which are anti-inflammatory drugs which can have a very beneficial effect, particularly in the lingering phenomenon which we see with COVID. Now, the predominant problem in COVID is not in the first 7 days. It is in the second 7 days when the inflammation is predominant. The cytokine storm is very high. And that's the time, if you give appropriately after 5 days, drugs like nimesulide, drugs like mefenamic acid, you can actually dent this whole cytokine biology and make a change. So the immunological switching which occurs with anti-inflammatory drugs like nimesulide is something very welcome, and that is something which we need to keep in mind in the COVID era.